Welcome everyone to the Inland Sports Show. Before we start the show, make sure you like this video and you've subscribed to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. And if you're a local business or organization and you'd like to promote yourself on this show, just send us an email, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. The show starts right now. Garcia's left footage. And what is up, everybody? Welcome to your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. We are live and amplified here at Teen Vision TV 16. Our director, Johnny Nunez, behind the scenes here. We got a big show, a lot of high school football. A little bit later, the Summit Skyhawks are going to check in. We're also going to have Cal State San Bernardino's new athletic director, Shareef, Amer. He's going to join us here on the show. And this is pretty cool. He's just back from Taiwan. It's Corona High School baseball star Ethan Schiefelbein. And Ethan was representing Team USA. He is the best of the best in the entire country at 18 and under, playing for Team USA. In Asia, he is back. He's going to talk about that experience as well. But as we always do, we're leading off with high school football. These guys are off to a great start, hoping to continue that in Mountain Pass League play. Join us here on the Inland Sports Show. We have the Perris Panthers. Head coach Paul Martin, a couple of his star players as well. And Coach, I'll start with you. I mean, you guys are 3-2 right now. I know last year you got off to a good start as well, but this year, do you feel like the Panthers are ready and primed to make that jump and maybe, finish in the top 3 and get into the playoffs this season, make that push?
Well, our ultimate goal is to continue to improve as a program. We want to develop the complete athlete, and that starts in the weight room, in the classroom, and then carries over to the football field. And in order for us to do that, we got to get qualified and skilled coaches in here. We've been able to do that this year with the addition of our offensive coordinator, David Atencio. So, it's just a gradual climb to the top, and we're going to try to do the best we can and giving them hell this year in league.
Coach Atencio's my boy. How'd you get him there in P-Town?
I've been knowing Dave for quite some time, and when I heard that he became available, we jumped on the opportunity to bring him in. And I'm going to bring him over right now, in fact, because the offensive production of these guys, Coach Atencio has a lot to do with. So why don't you come on over, Dave?
Coach Atencio, special guest on the Inland Sports Show. Oh, Coach Martin's giving up his seat.
What's up, Pep?
Listen, Coach Atencio, I know you love some offense. I know you love some points. You got Ryan Arredondo next to you. You got Michael Lawson as well. Just what is clicking right now with the offense this season? You guys are putting up some points and getting some wins.
Well, I think it starts with these two right here coming into this program, and Ryan hasn't played a lot of quarterback, but he's progressing all year. And we have a playmaker over here. So the big thing is just get him the ball quickly and let him do his thing. And we've been lucky enough to put up some points.
Now, Coach Atencio, you stay right there. Let me talk to your QB, Ryan, over there. Ryan, how long have you been playing quarterback? And you feel like you're still learning the position, so you still have room to grow and maybe even get better at this spot?
I've been playing the quarterback position for about, I'd say, 3 years now. And when I first started, I wasn't that great, but Coach Atencio has really helped me develop and grow as a player and a person. So I see more progression in me in the years to come.
Now, Ryan and Coach Atencio, I'm going to draw up a play. It's just going to say, throw it to Michael, because I think that's just throw it in his direction and let him go get it. Coach, we're going to talk to Michael right now, but what do you think makes him a special receiver? I think he's got, 10 touchdowns already on the season?
Yeah, I think he's 10 touchdowns, just over 400 yards and 38 receptions on a year. So high speed, elusiveness. He can run pretty good routes. We're all getting better, but he's our best route runner so far. And we're just keep grinding.
So, Michael, you and Ryan obviously have a good connection out there on the field. What do you think makes him, a good quarterback, and what do you think makes you a good receiver that you guys are able to click on the field and combine? I think Ryan has 15 total touchdowns, but you've got 10 of them. So, obviously, the two of you are doing a lot of damage offensively.
Arredondo, he listens to me. Like when I tell him how to throw it or something, he listens.
And Michael, how long have you been playing receiver, and do you feel like there's still room for improvement for you? Do you feel like you're still growing?
I've been playing receiver for 11 years, and I need to improve in a lot of stuff like my speed and stuff.
So, Michael, you guys are I know you're coming off a bye, but before that, you're coming off that big overtime win against Jurupa Valley. Did that do anything for the team in terms of their mindset, or just maybe some confidence, some momentum going into league play?
Yeah, everybody's trying to lock in. Everybody's trying to get ready for that game against Tockwitz.
That's a huge one. And Ryan, I'll go to you on this one. I mean, Tockwitz is undefeated right now. I know they gave San Jacinto a ball game last year. You guys are going to find out, if you're ready to climb that mountain when you take on Tockwitz this Thursday night. What do you think are the keys to victory, Ryan? What do you guys offensively have to do to feel like you're going to put some points up and be competitive with Tockwitz?
I think we need to meet them at the line, and our O-line really needs to step up this game. We need to run the ball a little more. I think we'll see a lot of that on Thursday, and we just can't be afraid of these big teams, and I think we'll be good.
Looks like Coach Martin is back. Coach, I brought up Tockwitz, and Coach Atencio said, I'm out. I'm taking off. He's out of the hot seat. But Coach, these are the games that you want to be in, right? You want to play these good teams and find out where your Panthers stand, right? This is a big game for you guys.
Well, in order to get better, you got to be the best, right? You got to beat the best. So we're not going to shy away from all the big games. We embrace it. But at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to get better and to develop complete athletes. So as long as we stay on that course, I think we'll be fine.
Now, Coach, I'm looking at your schedule right now, and I know you guys are 3-2, but you could easily be 5-0. Is that safe to say?
Sure. We lost some really close games.
What did you guys start last year? Do you remember?
We were 5-0 last year going into league.
That's what I thought. But do you feel like, maybe there's something to be said? I hate to say good. There's a good loss. It's kind of like a sports cliche. There's, no such thing as a good loss. But do you feel like playing in those close games and coming up a little bit short, maybe that you can use that as motivation or fuel or a learning experience so this team will be better this time around in league play?
Sure. There's always something to learn in losses and wins. And last year we were able to pull away and get those close wins. It's not like we ran away from anyone last year in our 5-0 start, but we were fortunate enough to come out on the winning end of those games. This year we dropped 2 of them, but it was a learning experience for us. So we just got to go back to the drawing board, work harder, do the things that we need to do to be successful. And knowing that we're going into a tough league, the margin for error is very small. So we got to be detail-oriented. We have to be focused, and we got to come ready to play.
And, Coach, let me wrap it up like this. You said at the beginning of the interview, you've surrounded yourself with, great coaches who are coaching up some great athletes at Perris High School. When you took over the program to where it is right now, do you feel like the climb is still continuing? You guys are obviously trending in the right direction, but do you feel like you guys are still climbing, still trying to get to that peak where you guys want to be?
Sure, I think we are. And, it's about, like I keep saying, developing the complete athlete. The emphasis is not only on football here. It's just getting the guys to focus on what they need to do in the classroom, to focus on what they need to do in the weight room so that we can have success on the field. If guys aren't locked in the classroom, then they become ineligible. If guys aren't locked in the weight room, then we're getting manhandled on the field. So it's a complete athlete that we're interested in developing here. And I think if we keep going in that direction, you're going to see another step in the right direction come next year.
Well, Perris versus Tockwitz this week in the Mountain Pass League opener is one of the big-time games in our area. Guys, thank you so much for jumping on the program for a couple minutes. Coach Martin, it's always great chatting it up with you, and good luck this week against the Titans.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. That's Ryan Arredondo, Michael Lawson, and, of course, the head coach Paul Martin here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks so much, guys. All right, that's going to take us into our first commercial break of the night. When we come back, more high school football. We'll check in with the Summit Skyhawks next on the Inland Sports Show.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kids Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more chicken.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Coaches, want to know the keys to off-season team speed development? Here we go. Phase 1, early acceleration. This should emphasize short sprinting distances from a variety of positions. Phase 2, near max velocity and the start of change of direction. Here you're going to focus on longer sprinting distances and start to incorporate some change of direction. Phase 3, max velocity and COD. In this phase, we'll focus on max sprinting and some consistent change of direction. Phase 4, speed and agility. This is where we put it all together, make it sports specific, and start incorporating it into every speed session. Boost man.
Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. A big thanks to the Perris Panthers joining us here on the show. More high school football in this segment. We love catching up with some of our local football stars, including the Summit Skyhawks. They got a great young quarterback, Jesse Vega, leading the way for the Skyhawks. They're 3-2 and kind of going into league play, but not really. In the Arrowhead Athletic Conference, they got Rim of the World in those crossover games in league play. And Jesse, man, you guys are, playing some tough teams in your non-league schedule. Now you're getting ready to go into league play pretty soon. Through the first 5 games of the year, Jesse, what do you think the Skyhawks have offensively have done well? What really stands out to you?
I think a lot of everything, to be honest. We've been very versatile. Been able to get a lot of different guys the ball and just spread it out and keep defenses on their toes because we have great running backs and great receivers, so they have to be prepared for everything.
Now, Jesse, you're getting it done through the air, also on the ground. You're the Skyhawks' leading rusher on the season. How long have you been playing quarterback, and what's some of your inspirations? Like, who are some quarterbacks that you look up to?
I look up to Patrick Mahomes, his playmaking ability, and of course Tom Brady. Just his mental part of the game is just like no other. And I've been playing for about 8 years since I started. I started playing quarterback.
So you've always been a quarterback.
Sure.
Since day one. So I'm looking at your stats right now, Jesse. Let's see. 851 passing yards, 460 rushing yards. Do you think, there's the term, a dual threat quarterback. Do you feel like you're a dual threat guy? Do you feel like you're more of a pure pocket passer? How would you kind of describe the way that you play the quarterback position?
I'm a dual threat for sure. I think every time that I run the ball, I can score.
And would you say, like, the play calling for Summit this year, are you guys pretty 50-50? Like, do you run the ball as much as you pass and vice versa?
It depends on game plan, but I would say 50-50.
So I'm looking at your receivers, and there's a bunch of guys who have caught passes this year for Summit. That's what really jumps out at me. I think there's about a dozen or so. It looks like your leading receiver is, Nathan Garcia. He's got 16 catches on the year. I know you're a great runner, but do you feel like, man, we've got some great receivers too. All I got to do is find a way to get the ball in their hands, and they can make a play as well.
Sure.
Is Nathan Garcia, is he kind of your go-to guy?
Yeah, he's definitely the older one with all the receivers, so he knows the playbook very well. So he's dependable for sure.
Jesse, talking about the playbook, how much time do you have to spend in the playbook or preparing for your opponent? You talk about, looking up to guys like Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, these guys put in a lot of extra work, a lot of extra homework, so they know everything about their opponent. They know everything about their own playbook. How much time do you spend maybe off the field just kind of getting your mind right and getting ready for that opponent each week?
As much as I can, for sure. Any chance I can get, I'm watching film or I'm studying our game plan and just going over what my responsibilities need to be for the game plan.
All right, Jesse.
As much as possible.
Be honest. What's it like playing for Coach Matheny? I've known Coach for a long time. He's well respected in this area. He's coached some really good teams. But what's it like playing for him?
Oh, it's amazing. I know he's coached a lot of great players, and I'm so grateful for Coach Matheny because he gave me a great opportunity to play here.
Well, Jesse, I'm looking at your schedule right now, and I know you're getting ready for Rim of the World this week in Week 6 of the season. And then you've got Grand Terrace, Eisenhower, and Harupa Hills, your official league games. When you look ahead to league play, do you feel like Summit, by Week 10, Summit should be in the hunt for a league championship in the I think it's the Sunkist, right? The Sunkist League.
Yeah, I'm very confident we could win league with the team we have and the core we have. I'm very confident we can.
So obviously you guys have had a strong non-league. You're at 3-2. But what are some areas you feel like, man, as good as we've been, we can still get better? The best days for Summit football are still in front of us. Where are some areas that you feel like you guys can clean up and be better later in the season?
I think getting down our chemistry and timing with our guys, because we can always improve there. And just we make mistakes, like we shoot ourselves in the foot. Like a lot of like self inflicted penalties. We can limit that, and we'll be good.
You know, Jesse, the quarterback is obviously a position of leadership out there. Do you feel like you're a leader who leads by example? Are you a guy who likes to, be vocal and, support your guys, encourage them? Or do you just try to let your actions do the talking? How would you kind of describe the way you approach your position? Because it seems like quarterback, you're the guy on the field that people are looking towards to kind of lead that team.
Yes, sir. I try to do both. I try to lead by example for sure, because I can't be telling the team to do one thing if I'm not doing it. So I lead by example, but also vocally too. I try to do both.
All right, finally, Jesse, big game coming up against Rim of the World. Obviously, you guys want to get a win this week and kind of build some momentum and confidence before you get to those official league games in the Sun-Kissed. But before you get to those league games, see, you got Rim of the World this week, and then you've got Rialto the following week. In those next 2 weeks, do you feel like those are, I don't want to say tune-up games, but games that you can, work on some things and be ready for Grand Terrace and Eisenhower and Harupa Hills? The next 2 weeks, do you feel like the offense maybe wants to go out there and prove something?
Yeah, for sure. We definitely want to make a statement that we're not to be we're in the hunt too. We want to win, and I feel like we're kind of the underdogs, but we would definitely want to make a statement and work on what we got to work on, and we'll be good.
Yeah, I remember last year the Sun-Kissed League was pretty wacky at the end, and who made the playoffs and whatnot. So that's the best way to get into the playoffs is just control your own destiny. Just go out there and win the football games, and that'll take care of the rest. Jesse, listen, congrats, man. Hey, guys, I don't know if I pointed out, he's only a sophomore. He's already tearing it up. Jesse, thank you so much for joining us here on the Inland Sports Show. Please tell Coach Matheny we said thank you, and keep up the good work, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it. That's Jesse Vega, the quarterback for the Summit Skyhawks here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks so much, Jesse. Really do appreciate it. Again, they're taking on Rim of the World this week in the Arrowhead Athletic Conference. Not truly a league game, one of those crossover games, kind of like what the Rain Cross Conference does as well in Riverside County. All right, that's going to take us into another commercial break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we're going to catch up with the new athletic director for Cal State San Bernardino, Shareef Amer. A lot going on with the Coyotes. Tons of teams competing for national titles. He's walking into a good spot, but how do you keep it going? We're going to talk to Shareef when we come back here on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down and see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
Hey, what's up, guys? Look who it is. It's Coach Bass, the Boost Man here at Boost Performance Training. My name is Pep Fernandez, and we've got another gridiron question for you guys out there. And Coach, we're continuing the series. We started it last time on some of the worst things parents can do to stunt the growth of the athlete in their lives. And, of course, they don't want to do that. They're not doing it on purpose. We talked about the worst thing you could do on the last episode, so go check out that video. What's the next one, Coach?
Yeah, Pep, it's definitely too much expectation for other people to help their kids. Look, there are a lot of great coaches out there who can bring real value to your kids' athletic development, but you got to understand that only the student athletes can walk the path. They're the ones that have to put the work in, go to class, and perform on the field. It always kills me to see parents who don't empower their kids with the tenacity to get things done. Instead, they accept the idea that someone else can do it for them. And this is far from the truth. And it's not to say that parents shouldn't invest or rely on coaches who can help with their kids' athletic development. Parents should try their best to invest in qualities that can be measured, because this removes all ambiguity in terms of what that coach has actually done for their child, and parents can see real growth. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you check in for the next Gridiron, where we talk about what you parents can do to help with your child's athletic development.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Rialto, right off the 210 freeway at Ayala Drive. Eat more chicken. Inland Sports. Yeah, that was a huge win for the Chargers on the road. I do want to give a shout out to our local guy, Alexander Madison, the starting running back for Minnesota. He had 125 all-purpose yards, but man, they just could not get the job done. And again, I felt like Minnesota had probably more opportunities to win the game and probably should have won the game. But at the end of the day, the Chargers are 1-2, the Vikings are 0-3. And of course, all eyes were on Colorado against Oregon, and the Ducks just smashed the Buffs 42-6. But now Colorado turns around, Patrick. They're going to host USC. USC, listen, they won on the road at Arizona State, but the Sun Devils are not very good, and that was actually a close game for the better part of 3.5 quarters. So all of a sudden, USC at Colorado this coming Saturday, kind of interesting.
Yeah, they're going to have to face another good team, so this will be another barometer check.
Inland Sports.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. I know it's not high school baseball season, but for one of our local high school baseball stars, Ethan Schiefelbein of Corona High, he was just representing the 18 and under Team USA squad in Taiwan, and they didn't win the gold medal, but it was still a great experience for Ethan Schiefelbein. We had a chance to catch up with him out there at the Lyle Wilkerson Field at Corona High School to talk about his experience wearing the red, white, and blue and playing for Team USA, and also just being one of several guys coming back for the Panthers. They're going to be loaded for next season. Here's our interview with Ethan Schiefelbein.
Inland Sports.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're out here at Corona High School talking with Panthers baseball star Ethan Schiefelbein. And Ethan just got back from Taiwan representing Team USA. And Ethan, what was that experience like, just putting on the red, white, and blue and knowing that you're out there representing your country like that?
Yeah, it was just a different feeling. Once you put on the jersey and see yourself in it and you're in the moment, it's a way different feeling than I've ever felt pitching before. Mm-hmm. And it was just awesome knowing I'm representing everyone back home.
So when you found out, I know you had to obviously earn this spot for Team USA, but when you found out you had a roster spot for the Stars and Stripes, I mean, what was that feeling like? What did your parents, what did your family think about all this?
Yeah, it was awesome. I got a spot on the 15-year national team, but we didn't get to play. So once I got announced, I was super excited to actually get to play with the team, get to know the guys, go out into Taiwan and experience that, and my family was stoked. They were super excited for me.
Now, did they get to go? Like, I know you find out you made the roster, and it kind of quickly happens, right? You get with the team, you travel over there. Did your family get to go? Were you by yourself? What was that experience like over there?
Yeah, my dad was able to come, and my mom and sister stayed home, but my dad had a great time out there watching the team and stuff, so it was really awesome to have him out there too and experience with him.
Now, I know you guys didn't win the whole thing, and obviously, maybe you're a competitor. You probably want to go over there and bring home the gold medal, but still, when you look back at this experience and, playing on the international stage and representing the United States, I mean, what are some of the memories or some of the things that you'll remember about this whole thing?
Yeah, playing on the international stage was awesome. You get to see different cultures, obviously, and we're all in the hotel room, so you get to meet and talk to guys from Korea, Japan, Puerto Rico. It was super cool, so I think just taking away from the experience, of that international experience and experience all those different cultures is a big thing. But obviously we didn't win the whole thing, and that was our main goal going over there. We had our saying was one team, one goal, and our one goal was to bring back that gold, but it unfortunately doesn't happen your way all the time. But
does it get you fired up though? Like, I don't know if there's more international competitions coming up or more opportunities for you like that, but does it get you fired up to, maybe have a gold medal around your neck someday?
Yeah, obviously. The collegiate team and the pro team are the only other two teams, so if I get a chance to play for those, that'd obviously be awesome to play, and obviously be fired up to go get some gold.
Yeah, or a CIF Southern Section title, that'd be nice too.
That'd be awesome.
Ethan, let me ask you about just the Corona High School baseball team. You guys had a great year last year. You've got a ton of guys coming back. You guys are loaded with talent. Are you excited about the possibilities of what this Panthers team could do next year?
Yeah, we have a full roster of great talent up and down our lineup, our pitching staff. It's really good. And I feel like this year our group of guys is really close. We all came up from freshman year together. We got some juniors that we're really close with, so it's going to be a really awesome year and exciting.
Now, I mean, you play baseball, sounds like all year round. Do you, as a pitcher as well, I mean, do you ever have to shut it down? Do you taper back a little bit so you make sure you're still fresh, when it's important, like next spring?
Yeah, right now I'm in a shutdown period, but just getting working as hard as I possibly can to get ready for next spring when I ramp it back up.
All right, Ethan, last question. Going back to playing in Taiwan, did you have a chance to do any shopping over there or sample their food or anything where you got to, really experience the culture? Anything stand out to you in that respect?
Yeah, we got to go to their biggest mall, which was really cool. It had all the bougie shops that you see in America and stuff like that, which was kind of cool to walk around and see. And their food there was... The food at the hotel was okay, but some of the other places, we went to a dumpling restaurant with the team, it was really good.
Oh, that's
so it was really cool.
So you got to get out a little bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't all business.
It wasn't just, in the hotel, but we got to get out a little bit, a couple of days.
Well, Ethan, man, great job here at Corona High. Great job representing Team USA. I appreciate the interview, and best of luck this upcoming season.
Thank you.
You got it. That's Ethan Schiefelbein here at Corona High School on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. Panthers. Again, Ethan's one of several baseball players coming back for head coach Andy Wise. These guys are going to be loaded. They were already good this year. They're going to be really good this upcoming spring. Here's head coach Andy Wise talking more about Ethan and his ball club because they've had a great run of guys from Corona High going to the major leagues. Joe Kelly, Tristan Beck, Mr. Corona is the latest. Here's head coach Andy Wise. Inland Sports.
I could sit here and say I played a part in it, and maybe I did. If my personally adding anything into it, I'm a pitcher who just got everything out of what I had, and it's not even close to what these guys bring to the table as far as skills. So I always talk about if they could just kind of get my mentality as to the way I went about business a bit and the things that I had learned, and they can go ahead and put that into their big, better body, that they're going to have a really good chance of succeeding and moving on and having a lot of success at the higher levels. So maybe. And on the other end, I think I always go back to Tristan Beck. It is what it is. And of course we had Joe Kelly before that. He was here before I was here. But Tristan Beck's first one, kind of get the tradition of pitching here to make it kind of a thing, and I like to think we've pretty much had the best pitching staff around since those days, so it's a good 10-year run, and he's a great mentor. He's always around. He has a couple words to give and advice to these guys and even myself, and I think I've allowed these guys to grow as well. It doesn't have to just be my way or the highway. I'm still a learning character in this whole thing as well. I'm an educator, so I do understand I don't know everything. I've been blessed to have some great mentors myself and great teachers that I'm just trying to give back what I learned, and that's basically what that is. So we've been fortunate with the group that's come in here, and I'm honored and proud to be able to work with all those guys. Inland Sports.
The one and only Andy Wise from Corona High School, man. Love that dude. He always makes time for us here on the Inland Sports Show, and they're going to be loaded this coming spring. Can't wait for Corona High School baseball. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show after this commercial break, we're going to talk Cal State San Bernardino athletics with new athletic director Shareef, Amer, the Coyotes with nationally ranked teams all over the place. We've talked a lot of men's basketball and baseball here on the show, but they got some other squads as well. We'll talk some Coyotes, the Yotes, when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show.
Coaches, here are 3 keys to building a great speed session. Check it out. Number 1, the dynamic warm-up. This should increase tissue temperature and be specific to the movement you're doing in your session. Number 2, plyometrics. For power development, this should be done right after the dynamic warm-up when athletes are still fresh and should be consistent to the movement you're doing in your session. Number 3, mix technique with application. Your speed session should be reps, 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 followed by mechanics to reinforce good technique, then back to the reps. And remember, always emphasize quality over volume, and greater distances should have lower overall volume. Boost man.
Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
Hey everybody, Coach Andy Wise here. We're out at Corona High School. I got my man Pep Fernandez and my favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.
The one and only Andy Wise there, back again on the Inland Sports Show. He's so funny. He couldn't believe he left his sunglasses on his head. I'm like, dude, that is your look, Coach. That's how people see you roll. So it's all good. All right, big thanks to again Coach Wise and Ethan Schiefelbein from Corona High School baseball joining us here on the show. Right now, we want to talk about the Yotes. Cal State San Bernardino doing some big things right now. And I say he's new, but he's not really new. He's been around here since the spring now. Shareef, Amer, the new athletic director for Cal State San Bernardino. And Shareef, first off, thanks for hopping on the show with us. The Yotes, man, volleyball's been good for a long time, and I know you know that now, but men's basketball had a great run. Baseball was unbelievable getting to the national semifinals in D2. But if you had to give the state of the Yotes address to all those Cal State San Bernardino fans out there right now, you probably have a lot of good things to say, right? I think the athletic program is in a good spot.
Yeah, we are. Thanks for having me on and let me talk about the Yotes for a little bit. Yeah, we're on a tear, right? And as I'm coming in, I'm 4 months into the job, and you're exactly right. Last year was kind of a banner year, statistically the best year that this athletics department has ever had. And I'm really just looking to come in and not only maintain that level of success, but also elevate it and see if we can bring home some more trophies.
Well, Shareef, let's start with that baseball run this past spring. Just unbelievable. The turnaround that Coach Nato has done with that program and how quickly they got good, and to make it all the way to the D2 College World Series and get to that national semifinal game. It was great. I mean, there's tons of IE guys on it, so a lot of local baseball fans were excited about it. What was it like for you? Because you step into the job and you're like, holy smokes, we've got a national championship contender on the baseball diamond.
No, you're not kidding. I mean, it was the weekend before I started was the regional that we hosted at Fiscalini Field. And then I started, and then that weekend we're up in Monterey Bay for super regionals. And I basically, my first month, I was essentially just traveling with them as they kept winning. And, we're in Cary and, we're in the national championship, the whole tournament, and that whole run was incredible. And like you mentioned, I got to know the guys, I got to know their families, and you're right, a lot of local guys. I started to hear stories about how, we had a leader on the team who held workouts in his backyard during COVID and stuff. I mean, it was just, you start to hear these stories of how driven these guys were. And the piece that I didn't quite know at the time was just how atypical last year's year was relative to baseball's history. And that I think adds to it. And really, if you got to be around the team and the coaches, you wouldn't be surprised at all. That culture is so strong. Mike and his staff are such good coaches. He says, the way he coaches is he just lets the guys, he gets out of the way and lets the guys run with it. But, he does so much for that program and really knows how to stretch every little bit. And the guys feed off of it. And, in victory, in defeat, it's just a model group that you just love being around.
Yeah, Coach Nato, at least in my book, he's the Coach Prime of college baseball because he took that program and took him to new heights no one believes. So doing the Deion Sanders thing, I guess you could say, what he's done with the Colorado Buffaloes. Shareef, though, I mean, obviously baseball made headlines this past spring. Volleyball, men's basketball has been doing their thing. But I know there's other programs right on campus also doing big things for the Yotes.
Yeah, I mean, look, as I was coming in, like I said, in that first weekend, baseball was on a tear. And then, women's track sends 5 student athletes to NCAA nationals. And it's like, we don't even have an on-campus track. What Lauren and that coaching staff are doing with that group is really something special. And it's carried over into this fall. Cross country, every week they keep PRing week after week. And it's just like, each student athlete is really stepping up in a big way, and you're seeing that week-to-week improvement that we want. And I think it's going to get even more excited following that program in the spring. And then, the fall is just, it's so fun. We have women's cross country, we've got women's volleyball that is in their very normal, very, very typical ranked position. I think they're 12th this week in the rankings. And, men's soccer just had their first loss over the weekend, but they're on a tear as well, nationally ranked. And, women's soccer, same thing, just, really, really high technical level, really fun team to watch. It's an exciting fall season around here.
Shareef, it's kind of like a sports cliche, but they say winning is contagious, right? You see volleyball's been doing their thing for years. Baseball, men's basketball had great runs. Do you feel like the other programs, maybe you're kind of feeding off that? Like, hey, Cal State San Bernardino, it's the place to win titles. It's the place to compete for conference championships and all those sorts of good things.
It is. We're so blessed to have this campus is beautiful. So I think that's the thing is it recruits itself. If we can get a recruit to step onto campus and we show them around and we show them our facilities, the athletics resources, and then campus facilities, 9 times out of 10, we're gonna land that recruit. And this is just a great place to be. I think we've got great coaches. I was blessed. My predecessor left me with some great coaches. And I think in men's basketball, we've been able to make a great hire as well. And, I think we're really looking to carry that forward. And I think probably one of the biggest things that we have going for us as well is, Coach Kim Chernis is long history of success, so many conference championships, national championship, and she embodies sort of what we're about as well. She's not someone who blows over her budget. She's not someone who, skirts the rules or anything like that. She's kind of the model coach. And so as we bring in these young coaches who are hungry and want to succeed here, they can look to Coach Chernis and know that they can do things the way I'm going to call them, the right way, and really go about them in a way that they are going to find that sustained success because she's shown the model that you can do it here.
So as the athletic director, Shareef, how do you support these coaches so they have everything at their disposal? They have the best opportunity to win conference titles, to compete for a national championship. As the AD, what can you do in your role to make sure that they have everything they need to try to make that run?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, right? It's like let's make sure that our resources line up with our expectations, and when they don't, let's game plan together to figure out where we can chase these things down, right? So, even though we do expect to compete for conference championships, we're not always the best funded in our conference. So then we have to get creative, and that's where it's good to have that open dialogue, that open communication with the coaches, so we can talk about what's real, what's going to be impactful, who can help us get to where we're looking to go. And then sometimes, it's just a matter of just some guidance in roster management or personnel management or whatever, right? But it's as I'm getting to know the coaches and I'm getting to know some of their strengths and their weaknesses, I'm just kind of hoping that I can help them along the way and just be conscious of where they can go. And then really just, I try to text, we don't have many losses so far, but when we do have a loss, I try to reach out to the coach and, make sure that they get some encouragement as well. And our student athletes, right? I think as well, it's important that they feel supported when they haven't met their own goals as well. It's easy to be there when they win, but you got to be there when they're losing too, and let them know that, hey, you're still on the right path and success isn't always linear.
Shareef, it's not quite chaotic or crazy yet, but I feel like the month of October, at least around these parts, at least for me, that crossover time of the year when, we do a lot of high school football, the fall sports are kind of wrapping up or getting towards their championships, and we got basketball starting up. Do you feel like life's going to get super crazy for you very, very soon with, the winter sports starting up?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get exciting. Right. I think what's going to get really exciting about that is you don't even know what to get excited about first, because you're right. You're so looking forward to basketball season. And, we've got a great women's group coming back. And I know there's obviously excitement around the men's team with the run that they had last year and the new coaching staff. And that's all happening as we're probably going to have a few fall teams competing for conference, championships and potentially making runs in NCAAs as well. So it's just the type of thing where if you're a fan of the Yotes, you don't know what to get excited about. You just get excited about everything.
That's the spirit, right? Everybody wins out there at Cal State San Bernardino. Shareef, Amer, listen, I appreciate it so much, Shareef. This was a lot of fun. Welcome to the IE. I know you've been around for a couple months as well, but hopefully I can make it out to campus very, very soon and meet you face to face and see what the Yotes are doing out there. Because, like you said, everybody's winning right now.
It is. It's a fun time to be a Yote. Thanks again for having me on, and look forward to meeting you.
Appreciate it, Shareef, and thank you so much. That is CSUSB Athletic Director Shareef Amer here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks again, Shareef. And you don't have to stay on Zoom. We got to continue the show, so you're welcome to bounce off of here. So much fun talking Yotes here on the show. All right, before we wrap things up here on the Inland Sports Show, we do want to give out our weekly awards for high school football. Johnny, let's start with our Week 5 All-Stars, because it was kind of a diet version this week. Not everybody played, but big-time performances nonetheless. Cornell Hatcher, nearly 300 yards and 4 touchdowns in that huge Centennial win against Liberty from Arizona, and 2 of the top teams in the entire country. Jordan Harris for Citrus Valley did everything. He ran in a touchdown, he passed for a touchdown, and he caught a touchdown in a big win for the Blackhawks against Ayala. Orange Vista QB Khalil Abdul-Aziz, big game against Paloma Valley, 257 through the air and 3 touchdowns. Also rushed for a TD for the Coyotes. Diego Frums from Bloomington, 144 yards and 4 touchdowns on just 7 carries. So more than half the time he touched the football, he was getting to the end zone. That big win against Indian Springs. King QB Josh Harper, been doing it all season long, 205 passing yards, a couple touchdowns, ran in a score in a rivalry win against JW North. And finally, Corona QB Ty Owens, 272 passing, 4 touchdowns, and also ran in a score for the Panthers. Those are your Week 5 Inland Sports All-Stars. All right, he was just an all-star. Now we're going to show you the highlight as well. Let's take a look at the big boost play of the week, and it was delivered by Cornell Hatcher from Centennial High School. He had 4 touchdowns in the game for the Huskies, but none longer than this one. 67 yards to the house, and that would set the tone for the rest of the game for him and the Huskies. Again, nearly 300 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. That was his first touchdown in the game. It was also his longest of the game. He also scored the go-ahead touchdown late in the 4th quarter as Cornell Hatcher did a little bit of everything. Huge game on the ground for Centennial as they turn to the rushing attack to beat the Liberty Lions, who were ranked 16th in the country. Centennial was number 22, so I wouldn't call it an upset, but Liberty was ranked a little bit higher than the Huskies technically. All right, with that said, let's go to the Boost Top 25 poll, because Centennial really cemented their spot at the top. They're at 3-2 going into Big West Conference play. But looky here. Centennial versus Chaparral this week. Big West Conference opener. It's number 1 versus number 2 in the Boost Top 25. Followed by Murrieta Valley. Then Cajon's going to dip down to number 4 after back-to-back losses for the Cowboys. Vista Murrieta, Roosevelt, Beaumont at 5-0. They get Yucaipa this week, so that's a huge telling game. Norco, Citrus Valley, and Liberty round out the top 10. And I'll be honest, there was not a lot of movement in the Boost Top 25 this week because not everybody played. The biggest movement, I guess, this week was Cajon dropped a couple spots, excuse me, after losing to Etiwanda. And let's see, I think that was about it. Citrus Valley moved up to number 9, but that was about it because things are really going to heat up beginning next week. Just look at the Big West Conference. All those schools are ranked in the top 10. They're all going to play each other head to head. So it's going to get real juicy real fast in our Boost Top 25. Our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. I just let the cat out of the bag. No more suspense here. It's number 1 versus number 2 in our Boost Top 25. Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. Centennial taking on Chaparral. And that's for you, Dash Byerly, the quarterback of the Pumas. He loves how I say Chaparral, so bring it on. The Pumas. Can they do it? Can they beat Centennial? We're going to find out. They finished runner-up in the Big West Conference last year. I think they surprised people last year, but no surprises this year. The Pumas come in. They played a tough non-league schedule, but I don't know if they've seen anyone like Centennial yet. So we're about to find out. Big West Conference opener, Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. Centennial at home against Chaparral. So that's a big, big game there. And that's not the only big game. We've got a couple other big games coming up in week number 6. Take a look at those in some of our coverage area. And those Big West Conference games, they're all big. I don't know how else can I say it? Any way you slice it, they're massive games. Roosevelt versus Murrieta Valley, Norco versus Vista Murrieta. Huge, huge games. Yucaipa versus Beaumont, 2 teams that are 5-0 in their Citrus Belt League opener. Ramona opens up River Valley League play against Patriot. Bloomington is 5-0. Arroyo Valley is 4-1. They will get each other in their Skyline League opener. That's a huge one. Orange Vista will begin their Ivy League title defense against JW North. And finally, Rancho Christian versus Hemet. That could be an early game that has league title implications as well in the Raincross Conference. So those are some of the top games in week 6. All right, a big thanks to our guests tonight on the Inland Sports Show, Summit Football, Perris Football, and Shareef Amer, the athletic director for Cal State San Bernardino, Ethan Schiefelbein, Corona High School baseball star pitcher, and the one and only Andy Wise, the skipper of the Corona High Panthers. My name is Pep Fernandez. We got Johnny Nunez behind the scenes here at Teen Vision TV 16, bringing you this great sports coverage here in the IE. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Do us a favor. If you're watching us live or the replay on demand, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it as well. Get those numbers up. We'll see you next week on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. God bless you and stay safe.